In the 11th century, the Ismaili philosopher Nasir Khosrow examined a specific theological claim, the idea that God sends a distinct angel down with every single raindrop striking the earth. Read strictly and literally, this claim creates a logistical problem. It implies that the spiritual realm is a crowded mirror of physical space, a container holding billions of distinct entities, all plummeting through the atmosphere at once. Khosrow offered a rigorous solution to this paradox. He argued that the physical laws of mathematics do not apply to spiritual entities. They are immune to the concepts of quantity and addition. Resolving this paradox shifts the boundary between the physical and the spiritual, forcing a look at the mechanics of the non-physical world. Khosrow establishes a strict first principle. Anything that can be counted or numbered is, by definition, a physical, corporeal body. Mathematics is the defining boundary of matter. This diagram shows how physical objects are bound by the limitations of more and less. If you have 6 items and add 1, you have 7. Subtract 1, and you are left with 5. Physical reality is a system of finite, countable quantities. The spiritual realm operates under a contradictory physics. A spiritual entity cannot be divided into parts, nor can it be multiplied by the number of times it acts upon the physical world. In this metaphysical space, substituting one spiritual entity for 1,000 changes nothing. Substituting 1,000 for 1 does not decrease its essence. It remains entirely whole. If mathematics is strictly a physical limitation, the act of counting must be abandoned to understand the underlying mechanics of reality. In Khosrow's framework, the angel designates the unified spiritual purpose of the rain, the act of bringing forth plant life. This act of generating life is one unified spiritual action. It manifests physically through billions of countable drops of water, but the source action remains singular. This diagram maps Khosrow's second example, Azrael, the angel of death. Physical causes of death, illnesses, accidents, old age, are plural and countable. The spiritual reality of death, the severing of the soul, remains one singular, undivided act. This reveals the error of confusing plural physical mechanisms with their singular spiritual cause. Doing so creates an illusion of infinite spiritual fragmentation. 2 centuries later, Jalal al-Din Rumi translated this exact ontological divide between the one and the many into the accessible verses of the Mathnawi. Rumi offered a precise metaphor. The light of the sun is a single, unified entity, even though it appears divided when it shines through the windows of 100 different houses. This animated diagram maps Rumi's metaphor to Khosrow's logic. The top source represents the unified spiritual realm. The holes in the barrier are physical containers, like the raindrops. The physical separation of light below is an illusion created by the containers. The source light never multiplied to enter the rooms, nor was its total volume diminished by being portioned out. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Drop a comment below, I'd love to hear what you think. Your support really means a lot and helps me keep creating content for you all. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Enduring poetry encodes the same structural truths as rigorous metaphysical philosophy. Classical Western metaphysics grapples with this identical architecture, formerly known as the problem of the one and the many. In Neoplatonism, the philosopher Plotinus argued that the one generates the universe by a process of overflowing, emanating reality while remaining intact. This diagram illustrates Spinoza's concept of substance monism, mirroring Khosrow's logic. Spinoza argued there is only one infinite substance. Every distinct, countable physical thing is a mode, a temporary expression of that infinite substance. Khosrow states that the physical is merely the color and skin of reality. Spinoza states that the physical is a temporary geometric expression of an indivisible whole. Spinoza's rationalist architecture produces a parallel conclusion to Islamic esoteric philosophy. Multiplicity exists only on the surface of an indivisible whole. Eastern paradigms offer further iterations of this model, using different cultural metaphors to describe the same structural divide. This represents the Indian framework of Advaita Vedanta. The static bottom is Brahman, the unchanging reality. The chaotic surface is Maya, the physical illusion. Counting individual souls is an error. When the illusion dissolves, they are identical to Brahman. Taoism maps out a similar mathematical progression. The Tao produces the one produces two produces three, and three produces the 10,000 things. In the Taoist model, massive multiplicity, the 10,000 things, is strictly a downstream, fragmented phenomenon. Across these civilizations, truth is located at the undivided source, unaffected by the myriad physical things it sustains. Returning to the final paragraph of Khosrow's original text, we can answer the linguistic question: why call these unifying forces angels or malaika? The Arabic root of the word angel is mulk, a term implying sovereignty, kingship, or total ownership. Khosrow explains that an angel is a king, specifically because it is eternal. It is immune to physical corruption, birth, death, addition, and subtraction. If an angel could be counted, divided, or multiplied, it would be subject to the laws of physics. It would be a mamluk, a subject, rather than a sovereign force over matter. In this philosophical framework, universal power is the quality of being immune to physical change and division. Khosrow concludes his text with an esoteric Ismaili reveal. This unified, guiding angelic force is a metaphor for the Imam of the time and his authorized spiritual guides on earth. This diagram captures the ultimate purpose of this framework. These guides exist to transition human souls from mere potentiality into actuality. This illustrates the required human journey. The soul moves upward from the dense, mathematically bound physical world, crossing into the eternal world of unity. The intellectual progression remains consistent, from Khosrow's single raindrop to Rumi's sunlight, to Spinoza's infinite substance, and the ocean of Vedanta. To merely count the physical world is to stay on its surface. True comprehension requires looking past the superficial math to see the infinite, undivided unity that powers our entire reality.